Howdy boys, as promised I'd do you get you a video about these fuel additives. I've been testing a few of them and threw them in my truck this morning and found 5 minutes, so now I'm doing you a video. I'll do a walk around. Holy smokes, let's zoom out. A lot of you guys are curious about this truck, so well, I mean, if I was watching the video, I'd like to see, you know, what are we talking about here. So all these products were tested on this truck. Besides Schaeffer's is a tried and true product for us. So that gets used on my fleet. The reason I'm trying all this, because these are very commonly referred to. So you got this good old Lucas, then you got Seafoam. As you can tell, I like my big bottles, right? And the time of testing, I always will throw it in one of these or the 16 ounces. Certain products that, I mean, they got different ratios of usage. So certain products require, 16, and the others require 8 ounces. So I wanted to show y'all, because there's kind of different variants even of this stuff. I think I saw a new one come up with that one. So this is all what we have, right? I'm gonna put it away and start driving and kind of talk about them. Dave, I'm gonna put all the product back in there. So the fact that I told you the current testing product's gonna be in these kind of bottles, this is how I do it. Both of these bottles are holding Schaeffer's, I think they're called Schaeffer's Clean or Carb Clean 2000 or Carb 2000. I buy it in a 5-gallon pail and use it. Obviously these bigger containers, this is as big as I bought them. Schaeffer's has this, excuse me, I'm pointing at Seafoam and saying Schaeffer. So Seafoam has its purposes, and Marvel Mystery Oil, I think with all my testing, that name really fits that product. I'm kind of like baffled by it, really. Anyways, I think it was necessary to actually show the container and whatnot, so y'all know what I'm talking about. So the first one I'll talk about is this stanadyne. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but this company right here and this formula, they have a few different variants, but that's the formula I'm talking about. Here we go. Let's hit the road, boys. So that stanadyne product, I guess I'll just be running two parallels as far as, because I don't have any scientific proof of what actually gives it lubricity and what does and at what degree. So I figured I'll do this. I'll talk about how the truck idles. That's a direct correlation, or should I say direct connection, with the lubricity factor and the gas mileage. So there we go. My truck's gas mileage is current is 13.2, and my instantaneous obviously is all over the board. On average basis, so the way I got this is I was towing a gooseneck over the weekend, and I think we did about 900 miles. Actually, I think I clocked that trip. Well, to today's day, it's 1,000 miles, but the weekend it was 900, sorry, miles, and I came home at 13.5, and that was all Schaeffer's product. Well, that doesn't really give you guys relevance, or you guys can't really relate because there's too many factors here. Let's go empty. Let's just talk about the empty pickup truck. So an empty pickup truck, Paul driving around town. This guy, if it's reset for the next, within a couple weeks, it will equate to about 16.5 to 16.8. That is a given, proven number. There are small variances, there's small variables, so just Paul jumps in his truck and he drives, right? And that number is going to be 16.5, 16.8. I know this video isn't for everyone, but my regulars that watch me, they could relate and kind of follow along. They know how I do my stuff. So nothing in the tank as a reference point, we're going to say 16.5 on the low end, right? So stanadyne, when I put that product in my fuel tank, okay, I could tell the truck runs, it's kind of hard to explain, but let's just say it runs smoother, softer, like it just fires softer. It doesn't have that knock to it, or should I say that roughness to it, right? Like you can kind of tell every piston firing off. When you put stanadyne in there, the truck just runs smoother. I think that's the safe word to use there. And my gas mileage is 17.8, 18, right? The average whooping around town for the 2 weeks that Paul drives around town, that's what I've gotten. That is 3 fuel tanks. That is back-to-back fuel tank after fuel tank. I've actually done a test where I skipped one and I saw the decrease in mileage, and then I added the product and I had the increase. So it's kind of hard to believe. You know, I'm jumping from 16.8 to 17.8 as an average. Well, somebody ran out of asphalt here. So stanadyne, check mark. It works well. It does. The truck does run. What I mean by runs well, does well. The truck runs smoother. It's more efficient. So I think that product is well worth its money, and it's fairly cheap product for what it does, what it offers. It's fairly cheap. The next product, I will go down the list. I will put it next to the Marvel Mystery Oil. So Marvel Mystery Oil, I can't comprehend all the way with this stuff because I'm kind of torn on it. So I looked up some tests. It doesn't really add lubricity. Hold on a second. I might be mixing it up with Lucas. Back that up. Sorry, guys. Just scratch that. It's the title says it. You know, it's just mystery oil is what it really is. I believe it's one of the best bang for your bucks is Marvel Mystery Oil. The truck just is a little, should I say, it runs not as smooth. And I'm nitpicking, guys. I'd say about 10% after 3 tanks. The truck just doesn't have the smoothness of the stanadyne. But the gas mileage is right there. I'm saying 0.5 plus minus. So 17.8, 18. I've seen that as high as 18.8. I had to kind of run behind Spokane and run around some highway miles. I mean, that's impressive. But I'm not going to put it any higher than that. I will say stanadyne beats the Marvel Mystery Oil on the way the truck runs as far as smoothness of the idle. But as far as gas mileage, they're even. So there you have that. Then you have Seafoam. I don't know what in the world Seafoam does when you're talking to an additive. I don't think there's any. Hold on a sec, guys. So I don't know what it does as far as an additive when it comes to lubricity and fuel mileage. I saw zero. I absolutely saw zero benefit of Seafoam in my fuel tank, as if it never existed. I couldn't tell the truck running any smoother, and I couldn't tell the truck running any more efficient. To my experience, to my knowledge, to everything I've used Seafoam for, Seafoam's a very good cleaner. A cleaner in a format where you just dump it in your filter bowl, and it cleans out your injectors, especially the 7.3, guys. They absolutely love it, and I owned a 7.3, and I could advocate for that. It does a phenomenal job as far as, you know, snorting it through the intake on the gas engines. And as far as the diesels, you know, put your new filter in there and just pour a full fuel bowl, and it does the trick. I can't see any other good use for Seafoam. That's it. That's what I just use it for. Now, Lucas, the Lucas bottle I showed you, right? Did not see any gas mileage improvements whatsoever, as if it was never there. I didn't see anything change. The truck did run smoother. I just take it for what it is. This is my experience. This is how the truck runs. There's no fuel mileage. There's no fuel benefit of that Lucas whatsoever. I must admit, I was so disappointed I didn't even bother with the 3rd tank. I did 2 tanks back to back. There's nothing there as far as gas mileage, but I did feel a softer, smoother running engine. Okay. Now, the reason why all-time proven and Schaeffer's was left for last Because when you don't have the product, and then you have a product, you're like, oh wow, you know, you're impressed by it. So I knew the Schaeffer's is the strongest, in my opinion, contender out of all these. I've tested all these, and then I put Schaeffer's in there. And guys, the way the Schaeffer's cleans, and what I mean by that, you know, your first fuel tank, you'll see a mileage, right? You'll do the same run, and oftentimes I'll reset those little trips just to I'll set one aside, and then I'll reset another one just to tell these little runs. Like I do Spokane, Tri-Cities often. I got family business out there. I'm out in Tri-Cities fairly often, and I know the gas mileage I'm supposed to get, right, on the way there, on the way back. There's no cleaner on the market that cleans like Schaeffer's Carbon 2000. I will try to, before I post this video, I will put the exact name of that product in the description, because I buy it by the, I was gonna say barrel, but it's not barrel, 5-gallon pail. That's why it's sitting in the stanadyne product bottle, because 5-gallon pail, what are you gonna drive around with it? No, you're not. You gotta break it down into little containers. So the way the Schaeffer's cleans, right? And that was tested on other trucks, multiple Rams, just an eye-opening on a 7.3. I had some 7.3 injectors. They were just going to, I don't know, getting cooked or coked or whatever the deal is. It was just things were going to crap. And I triple dosed Schaeffer's, ran the snot out of that truck for 100 miles, and it was a given one. Ram, same thing, you know. Kind of started seeing a little lack of performance. Put it in there. It wasn't dramatic, but just a couple tanks back to back, you see a sharpen up. The way the truck idles, it doesn't idle, let's just say. You can't hear it all of a sudden. It idles probably like the stanadyne, really smooth, soft, low in power. I want to say the Schaeffer's ups the stanadyne on low in power. I want to say it, but I can't just say it and be like, yeah, that's 10 or 15%. I say it edges it, but I'll just leave it at that. Low in power kind of stands out to me when I run Schaeffer's in the fuel. Gas mileage is, you know, right about there with stanadyne. It's phenomenal gas mileage. Keep in mind, most of my driving is probably about 30-40% of these kind of roads, you know, doing 50 miles an hour, and then rest of the percentage just stop and go traffic, actual city life. I try to use the back roads as much as I can. I much rather go further, but not sit around in traffic. Kind of stupid. Just, when I drive, I could think, and then when I'm stop and go traffic, I get sidetracked often, and I can't continue thinking. If you didn't know, I'm in charge of a few companies, and I got a lot on my mind. Let's just leave it at that. So thinking time, me time is very important. At times I'll get a cup of coffee and I'll just cruise. Hence, that's why sometimes you guys actually get videos of me just driving and talking about it, because I thought what I had to think through, and I have a drive ahead of me, like I'm headed back to the shop or something. I will, all right, buddy, shut it. I will, you know, open up my camera and share my knowledge as much as I can, my experience with you guys, knowledge, experience, whatever you want to label it. So, to conclude on this, the product that I believe is just a waste of money to put in your fuel tank to save on fuel, meaning, you know, a product that just, I see no benefit in gas mileage. I'm pretty sure if you got a dirty system of some sort, gas or diesel for that matter, it will help down the line if you have a dirty system. Now, Seafoam didn't benefit me, probably because my fuel system is pretty clean on all these products, and my truck's fairly new too. It's a 21. It doesn't even have 40,000 miles on it, right? And then Lucas, at least Seafoam, or excuse me, Lucas at least gives me a softer idle, smoother running engine, where Seafoam, I didn't even feel that. I'm not saying Seafoam's a waste of money. I'm just saying Seafoam doesn't give you the smoother running engine. The Seafoam doesn't give you the better gas mileage, okay? That's just hard cleaner fuel bowl thing, whatever. Let's leave that alone. Lucas, conditioner, fuel conditioner, whatever they call it. I do feel the engine runs smoother. I really do. But I just don't see any mileage improvement out of it, just my experience. Marvel Mistory Oil, I have to underline the fact that it's pretty hard on the emission system. I probably wouldn't advise you to run it. Read between the lines. You know, if you got an 07 and older truck, I definitely strongly advise you to run some of that product through your truck. A product that absolutely stands out, bang for the buck, is the stanadyne. You know, let me say about Marvel does, yeah, I'm just repeating myself, I'm not just going over everything I spoke about. Marvel Mist Oil gives you gas mileage, the stanadyne does. It gives you the idle, but I feel like stanadyne edges, well, I know stanadyne edges Marvel Mist Oil on the idle part, how smooth your diesel runs. So with that in mind, there you have those parallels. And then what did I do? Schaeffer's, I think I covered all 4 of those that I tested. Marvel Mist Oils, Seafoam, Schaeffer's, and stanadyne. Yeah, 4 products. Which one would I go with? If you're trying to add this product to save on fuel expenses, you know, if you have an 07 with emission systems and newer truck, stanadyne is a good bang for your buck. Guys, keep in mind, all this product was bought by me. I know sometimes people get bought out. I paid every single bit for all this product. You know, I ain't getting sponsored by no one here. You know, stanadyne is a very good product, bang for your buck. If you're trying to save money, I would go out and buy me Schaeffer's Carbon 2000, and then I'd go buy stanadyne. Schaeffer's is, you know, a bit on the expensive side, especially if you buy it off the shelves in little containers and whatnot. Fairly spendy product, but it works. You know, on the 7.3s, it's worked on the 6. Like, it's a hands down good product. Even my 5.9, you know, when we got it, it didn't seem to get the greatest mileage, but that 5.9 is pretty much my little brother-in-law's truck. He's one of the mechanics for the shop, and he just drives it. You know, he drives it wherever he needs to drive it, and you know, he's saying the gas mileage got a little better. And I noticed, you know, when it pulls up, the truck runs a little smoother. So it did clean out. So let me wrap up this video. Best product on the market for what I've tested is Schaeffer's. Best bang for your buck would be stanadyne and Marvel Mist Oil. There are 2 contenders. Maybe I did something wrong with lucus. A lot of guys gain mileage. I didn't see any improvement on lucus. And if you're trying to add Seafoam for mileage improvement, unless you have a dirty system, don't waste your money on it. On the fuel system, as far as dumping it in your fuel, what I would recommend is buying Seafoam and dumping it in your fuel bowl. I would highly recommend it there. Just dump, you know, put your new filter and top it off with that Seafoam. So when you start it, it gets that, you know, good old high detergent ran through those injectors. Really good stuff for that. But I'd leave Seafoam for that as far as diesels go. Guys, that's my experience. I hope this helps you all in any way. Shoot me some comments. I'll respond. You know, whenever I got the time, I'll respond to the best of my ability. And yeah, if you got some experience of your own, you want me to test a certain product, shoot in the comment section. But better yet, share your experience in the comment section with other guys on this channel. And yeah, that's what it's all about. As always, may the Lord bless you, and may you all have a mighty fine day. Ciao. Bye.